a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Welcome back to Sinfully Pure. Why is there an easy mode? What? I've never seen a visual novel with an easy mode. Now I'm slightly worried. Now I'm curious what the easy mode's for. So welcome to Sinfully Pure, where we review games and see if they're worth doing a full Let's Play. Today we're looking at Paradise. Why is there an easy mode? No one told me there would be an easy mode. I've never seen a visual novel with an easy mode. This is going to be interesting. There was no clock in my room. I didn't really watch TV either. Whenever I needed to know the date or time, I just looked at my phone. Right now, it's 9:30 a.m., almost time for my shift at the convenience store. I'm gonna turn up the volume a little. Let's actually look at that. Everyone's maxed. Okay. It's just low. Sitting cross-legged on atop my rumpled bed, I reached out and pulled the curtains fully open. For the last few years, I've lived alone in this old 2-room apartment. The rent only sets me back 50,000 yen per month. On a sunny day, even my room on the shady side of the building was filled with dizzying light. Those were the only kind of days when I felt any shred of a motivation to work. So.
くそ下くそか
I'll lower the music. It is incredibly low right now. I dragged myself out of bed and trudged to the bathroom. While I'd love to only work 4 6-hour shifts per week, I had bills to pay, so I was stuck with a minimum of 8-hour shifts 5 days a week. Even that barely cut it, though. I wasn't starving or anything, but I certainly wasn't living a life of luxury.
貧乏暇なしが身に染みんね
Now he talks at the level of a human being. To put it bluntly, I was friggin' broke. I shoved my painfully light wallet and app-riddled phone into the pocket of my jeans. I'm feeling personally attacked right now. Then I styled my hair like usual, threw on the same outfit I was wearing a few days ago, and headed out without breakfast. I felt hideously lethargic, but I had to push through. After all, if I didn't work, I didn't eat. So went my daily routine in my live-to-work life. Why is there an easy mode? No, I need an explanation for this. This bothers me. I've never seen that before. To get to the neighborhood convenience store I worked at, you had to cut through the shopping street where you were walking or cycling. Once I was, though, I sometimes switched up the route, but I always loved wending my way through the bustling, chaotic streets. Pachinko parlors, flower stores, game centers, phone stores, and secondhand clothes stores lined the road, and the smell of food filled the air. Being somewhere so overflowing with life made me feel alive, too.
相変わらず朝っぱらから賑やかっすねあ、ガス代払ってくんの忘れたまあいいや帰りに払おう
I figured this place would empty out after the new department store at the station was finished, but the old shopping district was still clinging on. The low prices are probably part of it, but there also seemed to be some stroke of luck in its consistent ability to thrive. This morning, the downtown area was peacefully chaotic as ever.
お、安い
I stopped in front of the butcher's. Chicken thighs were 60 yen per gram. Now that's a deal you can't pass up. No, you cannot.
いらっしゃい。今日の目玉はこれだね。これからバイト？
The old butcher hailed me with his usual friendly greeting. I didn't cook for myself every day, but I stopped by the butcher's fairly often, so he knew my face.
ああ、夕方まで残ってっかな。
大丈夫大丈夫。ごっそり仕入れたから。つってもバカ売れしちゃったらわかんねえけどな。
そこまで繁盛してんの見たことねえよ。じゃあ取り置きしといて。帰りに取りに来るから。
ダメ。取り置きは他のお客さんのも断ってんの。今買ってけよ。コンビニにだって冷蔵庫くらいあんだろう。
あるけどみんなジュースくらいしか入れねえもん。隣に生肉あったら絶対文句言われるって。
なら仕方ねえな。早く仕事終わらせて買いに来な。
そうするしかねえか。じゃあ後からまた来るわ。行ってきます。
おう、行ってらっしゃい。
I left the butcher store behind, and the billboard quickly vanished from sight behind crowds of housewives and school kids. A few hours later, I was on my way back home after an uneventful shift.
疲れた。とっとと帰って飯だ飯。
One of my coworkers, Ogino, invited me out for drinks at the end of our shift, but I wasn't in the mood. I'm not much of a socializer, so Ogino didn't push. Still, he seemed to like me for some reason, and was always inviting me to do this or that with him. Just a few days ago, he'd asked me to come camping with him and some buddies, and I turned him down.
男にモテてもしゃあねえわ。
You know what? I grumbled to myself as I peeked into the butcher shop. Thankfully, there were still a few choice cuts left.
お疲れさん。まだ鶏もも残ってるぜ。
やった。じゃあそこの塊全部ちょうだい。
はいよ。しかしずいぶん買うね。全部で2キロ以上じゃねえか。友達と鍋でもすんの？それとも俺？
いや、カレーにして一人で全部食う。
この量？いや食い切れねえだろ。
他の具は入れねえからいいんだよ。
Plus, even if I didn't eat it all, it'd keep for a couple of days. I swear curry is a bachelor's best friend.
野菜食えよ。
野菜嫌い。
彼女にうまい野菜料理でも作ってもらえ。
彼女いねえし。
The butcher shrugged as though I were a hopeless case and then gave me a desolated look.
兄ちゃん、イケメンなのにもったいねえな。一人で肉カレー作ってねえで恋人作れって。
うるせえ。ほら、さっさと会計。
おじちゃん泣けてきたぜ。かわいそうだから牛脂1個つけとくからな。
I didn't have much use for it, but figured I might as well take him up on his kindness. I hand over the 1,000 yen bills and received my bag of meat in return. Then the butcher also passed me a slip of paper that looked like some sort of ticket.
何これ？
The thin bit of paper fluttered in the breeze as I held it between my fingertips.
福引券500円で1枚渡すことになってんだ。商店街の北と南の隅っこでガラガラ回せるから。
500円で1枚？
I was about to say that his calculations didn't add up, but the butcher went on with a grin.
兄ちゃん、たくさん買ってくれたから本当はもう何枚か渡さなきゃなんねえんだけどさ。悪い。もうそれしか残ってなくてな。とりあえず運試ししてこいよ。
商店街の隅って結構歩くじゃん。いいよ。ラス1なら他の人にやって。俺
それ1枚だけ残しといても仕方ねえよ。明日になりゃまた新しい券もらうしさ。ほら、残りもんにはなんたらって言うだろ。一等だったら結構いいもんが当たるそうだ。福引きの人がやけに熱心に営業してたよ。
わかった。ありがとう。
どういたしましてだ。またな。野菜食えよ。
肉屋のセリフじゃねえな、それ。
I was about to say that too. The butcher waved me off, wishing me luck with the lottery. With a slight wave back, I headed off down the street.
どうすっかな。マジであそこまで歩くのか。
To be honest, going several hundred meters out of my way just for a lottery seemed like a pain in the ass. But then I recalled what the old butcher said about the first prize.
そういや、何が当たるとか説明がきねえのかな。
I turned the flimsy, cheap-looking ticket over, but there was nothing on the back.
よく考えたら商店街の端って特産物屋とお茶っ葉の店くらいしか。あんまり行ったことねえな。あの辺ってどうなってんのかな。
Realizing that I'd never had a proper look around the area, I suddenly found myself more interested.
行ってみよう。
The decision came easy. The only thing waiting for me back home was a night of curry making, so I decided to have a walk around and drop by the lottery station. After a few minutes' walk, I arrived at the little drawing station. It was deserted except for the staff, who was starting to pack things away. There were plenty of people passing by after shopping for their evening meals, but none of them showed any signs of stopping to participate. Just then, one of the staff noticed me standing there and cheerfully beckoned me over.
あ、もしかして福引きっすか？大丈夫っすよ。まだこっちでやってるんで。
じゃあ、すいません。
Not wanting to get in the way of them packing up, I had been planning on simply turning around and leaving. But given how casually the guy was acting, I didn't feel like I was causing any trouble.
じゃあ、ケン、見せてもらっていいっすか？
はい、これ。1枚しかねえんだけど、いい
？1枚でも福引きは福引きっすから。大丈夫っす。
Can't deny that, the guy came across as a salesman, but he spoke the truth.
じゃあ早速行ってみましょうか。ガラガラの回し方大丈夫っすよね。1枚なんで1回回してもらっていいっすか？
He encouraged me to spin the wheel and then picked up a handbell.
じゃあ。
I grabbed the handle of the raffle drum and gave it a quick spin. I just wanted to get my prize and go home. At last, the drum spat out a golden ball.
出た。
Gold, huh? Pretty auspicious color, but who knows? I was fine with a packet of tissues or whatever.
金色。これって何等？
I held out a hand, expecting my packet of tissues while glancing around to see if there was a chart of ball colors and their corresponding prizes. Then I noticed the staff members were peering down at the ball, his eyes like saucers. The next moment, he started ringing the bell.
一等大当たり！
は？
え？反応薄くないっすか？そこもっと喜ぶとこっすよ。これすごいんすけど、一等っすよ。
マジ？しゃこら！
Without really thinking, I did an exaggerated fist pump pose. That was when I realized that everyone walking down the street was staring at me. I mean, of course they were, given how much of a fuss this guy was making. Didn't mean I liked it, though. If I were with a friend, we should get hyped up together, but since I was on my own, I wasn't sure what a cool reaction would be. Yeah, I'm a little vain, so what? For the first time, I slowly relaxed my victory pose and affected an appropriate, moderate smile.
そりゃよかった。
Just then, I spotted a poster behind the staff member, which, sure enough, showed gold as first prize, along with the description: 6 days on Togojima Island.
旅
The guy quickly stuck his head in between me and the poster.
あ、見ました？戸賀島5泊6日の旅なんすよ。パンフと船のチケット中に入ってるんで、絶対どっちもなくさないように気ぃつけてくださいね。日程とか事前準備とかはパンフに大体書いてあるんで、当日までに結構細かく見といた方が多分いいっす。あ、つうかこれちょっとテンション上がんないっすか？島の旅行にタダで行けるんすよ。マジその砂感じゃもったいないですって。
Can I just say Lottery Stat Bro needs a raise because Lottery Stat Bro is going all in on this one? The lottery guy shoved a huge envelope tied with an extravagant bow and labeled the first prize into my arms.
あありがとうね。
あとはこれ。
あれ、まだなんかあんの？
はい、この用紙に名前と電話番号、住所を書いてもらっていいっすか？なんか福引きを主催してる旅行会社の人が旅行の日程のことで連絡したいとかって言ってて。
なるほど。そういうもんなのか。
I scribbled my name and number down on the paper.
もし旅行のキャンセルとかってなったら直接旅行会社の人と話してもらっていいっすか？
Hey, hey.
Fair enough. I handed the paper filled in with my spidery handwriting back to the guy and he looked it over and with a nod.
そんじゃあそろそろ。
おめでとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
But the guy had gone back to packing up before I even finished thanking him.
旅行ね。
Dodging the overcoming flow of people, I lugged the bag of meat along with one hand and stared down at the envelope with the other. Look, this is a yaoi game, the bag of meat joke. Just gonna sit there.
まさか当たるとはな。ここ数年分の使い果たしたりしてねえよな。
I gave the envelope a shake. It felt heavy enough to contain a brochure. Looking up as I reached the end of the shopping center, I saw at the clouds that the blanket of the sky had cleared and revealed a pretty sunset.
旅行か。バイトばっかで最近遠出してねえな。最後に旅行したのは高校の友達と卒業記念に行ったきりだっけ。島なんてめったに行けるもんじゃねえし、この機会に行っておくってのもいいか。
Since the trip itself was free, I shouldn't need too much money other than expenses. And I should just have enough savings in hand to take a week off from work.
もしかしたら旅行先で可愛い女の子と出会っちゃったり。
Suddenly, the choice seemed obvious.
なんか一気に頭ん中リゾートになってきた。
First things first, I had to find someone to cover my shifts.
あ、もしもし、荻野？俺。お疲れ。今日？いや、なんもねえよ。ただ、ちょっと頼み事。いきなりでマジ申し訳ないんだけどさ。来週のシフト、まるっと俺と交換してくんない？福引きで旅行当たった。マジで一等だった。商店街でやってるやつ。5泊6日。おお、知ってる？お前もやったの？マジかよ、ティッシュかよ。残念だったな。
You're gonna want to trade prize with him, I have a feeling.
店長が誰かと交代すんならいいって。あ、いや、他のやつにも当たってみるつもりだから。さすがにいきなりすぎるし、無理なら本当大丈夫だからな。一応聞いてみてるだけ。え？マジでいいの？やったー！ああ。土産は2倍な。了解。 じゃあ再来週のシフトはお前のと全部交代でいい？オッケー。ほんとありがとう。マジで助かった。じゃあな、おやすみ。
I hung up the call and tossed my phone aside. After getting permission from our boss, Ogino was the first person I called, since I was relatively more friendly with him than anyone else.
まさかマジで OK してもらえるとは思ってなかったな。よかったよかった。
Sure, he'd grumble about it not being fair and I should take him with me, but whatever. Pretty readily. Acquiesced. I cannot say that word.
と、カレー忘れてた。
I went to check on the pot I set to boil before I called Ogino and saw that the chicken-only curry was simmering nicely. An appetizing scent filled the room.
飯は炊けてるし、もう少しで食えるか。その間に旅の工程でも見直そう。
I hadn't looked at the details yet. I only glanced over at the dates before making my calls. I sat down on the floor in the living room and opened up the pamphlet.
どれどれ。
A gaudy font proclaimed the following. Get back to nature. Maybe even try your hand at a little self-sufficiency on the Togajima Island Exploration Tour. 6 days, 5 nights, meeting time 7 a.m., meeting place Okayami Harbor in the front of Asanagi 2. I read that part earlier.
つうか、戸賀島ってどこよ？聞いたこともねえ名前だな。なんか観光するとことかあんのかな？ビビった。
Just as I was turning the page to see if there was a map of the island, my phone rang. Grabbing my phone atop the bed before me, I looked down at the screen to see an unfamiliar number.
なんだこの番号。
Probably the travel agent. I didn't even have anyone from work in my contacts, so figuring that was probably what it was about, I answered the call.
はい。
この度は戸賀島5泊6日の旅のご当選、本当におめでとうございます。
あの旅行の。
はい、二来家内ツアーズの田辺と申します。商店街の担当者から連絡を受けまして、取り急ぎお電話いたしました。夜分に申し訳ございません。
はい、大丈夫っす。
After seeing the same name and company he gave were intended written on the pamphlet, I relaxed. The lottery guy said I have to speak directly to the company if the trip was canceled or anything, so I made sense that they'd get in touch.
今少しだけお時間いただいてもよろしいですか？ご旅行にあたって必要な手続きがございまして。と申しますのも、パンフレットをご覧いただいていればご存知かと思うのですが、今回の旅行はツアー式となっておりまして。
はい。
I'd only taken a brief glance so far, but I thought it said something like that.
日程やお時間が決まっておりますので、ご都合が悪いようでしたら、ご参加はお見送りという形になってしまうんです。
その点は大丈夫です。休みが取れることになったんで。
As I answered, I went over to give my curry pot a stir.
さようでございますか。よかったです。それでは、東様はご参加ということでよろしいでしょうか。
はい、それでいいです。
The all-meat curry was cooking nicely. It looked like it was gonna be a hella tasty.
はい、ありがとうございました。これで東様の旅行名簿へのご登録は完了です。では何かございましたら田辺宛てにご連絡ください。
当日はよろしくお願いします。
こちらこそよろしくお願いいたします。
The call ended just as the curry was ready to eat.
さーて、食うぞ、死ぬほど。
I turned off the heat, poured the steaming mixture into a mountain of freshly cooked rice, and then dug my spoon in. I messed around on my phone as I ate. The meaty curry was as predictably hella tasty. So, before we actually head on the trip, that's where we're going to leave this review. If you guys want to see more of it, I love the save. Let me know. And if anyone knows why there's an easy mode, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to check out my other channel, Sinfully Pure. And check out my shop. Everything in the description there is awesome. And if you're watching in other places, check me out on YouTube under Purity Sin Gaming and Simply Pure. Have a fantastic day, guys. Bye.